What up, good people? It's your boy E-Buck, the Nighthawk, also producer, co-producer, etc., etc. Anyway, one of my favorite times of the week is when we come on here to talk about this thing we call sports on the show that we call the Guru Sports Session. This, of course, is a very special episode as we are doing our college football preview. And as always, whether it's college football preview or regular show, we could not do the Guru Sports Session without the man I call the Guru himself. That would be my bruh, Hugh Lee. What's happening, bruh?
What's good, E man? A lot of good things going on, man. We got the college coming back on this weekend. Pretty good game too. I just looked and seen who was playing. So I'm expecting a good game. And then we got all the other stuff going on, man. With this whole ESPN takeover with their new package, and just it's good because it's right in time before like the college football and NFL kickoff. So yeah, it's pretty good stuff going on right now.
I like that you're happy, man, because I know this is one of your favorite, if not your favorite time of year when they break out the pigskin and we get busy.
Absolutely. I've been happy about some other things, man, especially in baseball, with that sweep today. That really impressed me, especially against a team like the Houston Astros. But yeah, man, we'll save that for another time. But yeah, man, it's a lot to
Right.
be happy about.
Yeah, and of course your Yankees, they broke out the big bachelor like with the
Yeah, them
9
boys
home
been on
runs. That
fire
was
lately,
rather
man.
impressive.
They definitely been playing better.
Yeah, 5 straight games. Now they to figure some things out over there. But
Yeah, I
anyway,
believe more or less them getting healthy and the pitching is doing better because we were saying that too. Remember, we said on the last show the pitching's gonna have to really get used to being integrated into some of the teams that got all these new acquisitions, and you can start to see it now. It's been that 2 week time, so yeah, most of it actually surprisingly hasn't even really been 2 weeks. It's been like a week, and everybody's starting to get along with these teams, but you just need time to just get in there and get the feel of the game and adjust. But yeah, it's been some pretty good stuff going on in sports too, man.
all righty. Well, I'm taking your lead, bro. You lead, I will follow. What's
I
happening?
want to start off with something that I know you're familiar with, man. We're going to talk about starting off with the Big Ten and what they were talking about as far as integrating more teams into the college football playoffs. And then we're going to talk about, of course, one of the biggest things that happened over this weekend before we get back into college football, the fines and the punishments from Michigan, Wolverines. Do you feel like it was justified, or do you feel like it was just a little bit overboard? But I just want to know everybody's opinions on everything. And I want to start off too with the Big Ten. I know you probably was aware of this, that they're talking about expanding or considering expanding the playoffs to 24, the like 28 teams going in there. And that's a proposal that they wanted to do. And they're saying 4 teams to get the automatic bid, of course. And then, you'll have certain teams like the Big Ten and SEC who could get 7 automatic bids. And then they're saying like the other teams like ACC, Big 12, etc., can get like 5 to 4 bids. I want to know your thoughts on that because you already know how I feel about the whole situation in hand, but I just want to know your thoughts about 24 to 28 teams in the playoffs.
Yeah, remind us to talk to the production department about getting a money sounder in the sound effects for this type of situation. Because bottom line, that's what this is all about, children. Money. Big stupid money. Now understand, I think we will come a day where they play just as many college football games as they do NFL games. I think we're gonna get to a 16 or 18 game season in college football. Because it truthfully, that's the only way this really works from that standpoint. But then the other thing is this: Division 1 has changed. Okay, it changed the day that the SEC and the Big Ten said, you know what? Everybody come get some of this. I want this team. SEC said, well, give me that one. And they've been playing divvy up the last decade now.
But what
We
I told you
already
though,
know
E.
where this is headed. And you
Mhm.
said this and I've said this. It's going to come to a point where it's going to be 2 different Division 1s, okay? It's going to be the Division 1 that has everybody else. Then it's going to be the Division 1 with the SEC and the Big Ten and some semblance of Notre Dame and a couple other folks, okay? And them 2 different fractions gonna end up having their own championship games, and then they're gonna come together for a big championship game. and it's gonna be big money because people gonna bet big money. It's gonna be stupid. Right now, this proposal they have, stupid. Stupid. Because in the end, if you are a team outside of the Big Ten and the SEC, they getting over on you if they do this. Because out of them 24, 28 teams, how many of the 20 SEC teams or 16, 18 Big Ten teams is gonna be in that 28? We already know
It's
most of them.
crazy because they get 7 automatic bids too. Automatic, both Big
Automatic.
Ten and
Understand what
SEC.
he's saying. So what you gonna get is a team in the SEC that's 7-5, 8-5 in the playoff. Team that's damn near 500 in the playoff in the Big Ten. I ain't trying to see Minnesota or Indiana or Purdue make the playoff, and they barely won enough games to get in there. Meanwhile, a team from say Murray State or somewhere along them lines, a MAC team like Bowling Green didn't won most of their games, and they're not in the playoffs because the MAC didn't play nobody.
Or like Coastal Carolina, the Chandeliers, they always they've been
Exactly.
feeling good for like the last 3 years.
Or Boise State or something
Yeah.
along them lines. No, actually, those are the teams that will probably benefit because those teams are getting in because they names. Because remember, this is about the money.
Yep. And they were saying too, that some of them teams like they were doing too, like the strength of the schedule too. So they're saying if you
Supposed
get beat by a team, they're trying to improve the fact. Like say if Alabama lose to a big team like Oklahoma or Georgia, perhaps that it won't really count against them depending on how well the records is at the end of the season. But you already know, and I know that's not going to do it because they've been saying that ever since the playoffs and everything started, and they don't do what they're saying they're going to do. And why don't we just have 16 teams, man? I feel like they're jumping too fast because hell, we got 12 already. You trying to jump from 12 to 24, maybe 28 teams? That's a little too much for me, man. They're trying to make it
at
kind
the
of like
very most, we
they're
should
trying to
have
make it like
16.
basketball now, man. How
Right.
you had that tournament, which I feel like it works off better with the
Mhm.
basketball because with so many games played, and they at least give you a chance in basketball. But in football, it's more or less, man. You should get 16 best teams and play it out in the playoffs. We wanted that 16 games, or the 16 teams playing eight of the teams, however you make them up in the divisions or what have you. But I still feel like, man, just don't jump the gun and go to that many teams yet. Let's just stick with the
That many
12 and go
teams
up to the 16.
only benefits the big conferences. Because keep in mind, if you're a Michigan, that team down south, Alabama, Georgia, okay, say your top quarterback get hurt in one of them playoff games. You still got 2 4 stars sitting on the bench that you could throw in there, and they would start for down there any other school in the country. So they ain't got no problem coming in and still dominating that second round team that barely made it in. You see what I'm saying? It's
Absolutely.
not fair to do it that way. If you're gonna do that, like I said, you might as well keep it real. These the real squads. This is where the real money is. We're gonna have them have their own separate tournament, and then everybody else, we'll let you play your way to get in where you fit in. And then we'll have a playoff based on that.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard today, man, but I got a lot of love today, man. Just being a fanboy. And it was funny because a lot of people were getting on their algorithm on Instagram something that happened just recently, and it popped up on my phone. So I'm just like, okay, what's going on? I seen Jeremiah Smith, and I said, okay, what this dude? What is this lame doing on my page? What the hell is my algorithm doing with him on my page of all people from that school? And that's when they was asking him how did he feel about last year when we got that dub on them when nobody thought that we was going to beat Ohio State and the odds was against us. So when that happened, he had like that real sad look on his face, and they was asking him, how did you feel about that team? And he basically was like, I hate them. I can't even say anymore, but I hate them. And so we flooded that timeline as Michigan fans. And there was so many Michigan people in there, man, giving them flack. And I was like, okay, I'll definitely like it at right now because I love the competition and I love the rivalry. But now it's like, you bringing fuel to the fire, and the season didn't even start yet, man. So yeah, I'm definitely interested. And usually when they play, that's one of the games I always mark on my calendar. But I just want to see what's going to happen because I feel like we're getting better and we improved. But I still feel like it's still a lot to prove right now. I just feel like we got to take our lumps and everything what's going on, and we're going to get into that soon too. But how do you feel about the rivalry being sparked up already before a game has even been played?
It don't take much. I mean, the biggest rivalry in all of college football. No disrespect to you, Alabama Auburn fans, but we know that's team down south and Michigan. And as a Michigan fan, you know why I call it that. Even though it look like that's their field, I ain't even peep that. I need to
Yeah,
change them colors for next time. But
yeah.
anyway,
Definitely when you was talking to me about that, Phil, I was like, okay, if that's what you want to roll with, you know.
that's Nebraska field. Damn what you talking about. Anyway,
Yeah,
Oklahoma filling your red, white, black. Alabama even. Okay, look, that's game gonna be that as it is. All right. They ain't won in a few years. They come in here. We got the freshman quarterback. They wanted him. That game sells itself every year. We know that. But all the little different times, not to mention the fact that even though they won last year's Napier Championship and we won the championship the year before, I think we all could pretty much say that that seat down there down south is hot for one reason. If that man lose that game, he probably done. Despite having one of the best coaching records ever. If he does not beat Michigan this year, he's probably done. At least at that school.
yeah, he been having his problems, man. Did you see the one man? I don't know if you seen though. This happened a while ago too, man. After the season, he was taking a picture with a fan, and the fan held him tight and got the selfie. It was like, "Yeah, go blue," and the look on his face was justified to me, man. That's all I wanted to see. If I can find it, I'm gonna send it to you. He one of the
People
best
just don't
moments I feel like
understand
I
how
had.
deep that is. I mean, I dare you. Go on University of Michigan's campus with that gear on and see what type of love you get. Go down there to Columbus with that Michigan gear on and see how people treat you. It's that deep. It's
Yeah,
that deep.
it's a lot of like fuel to that fire, man, and it's easy. I want to talk about one more thing too before we really get off into like the penalties. I really felt like it was classy, even though I'm not an Auburn fan, and I feel like sometimes Cam, just be Cam and talking crazy, and I don't agree with the way he wears clothes and some of his culture. I mean, that's him. But I gave respect where respect was due for them retiring his jersey too in Auburn. And I thought that was pretty justified, man. Yeah, he's been getting in little beefs and little, scuffles on podcasts as of late. But I definitely, and I know you as well as a college fan and just NFL or just football in general, you got to give him credit where credit was due because Cam changed the game.
Dude, it's about his journey, okay? And the fact that that's going to take place and it's probably going to be highly televised, I want people to really understand the journey that that young man went to get to where he is today as a person, as a man. The fact that at one point in time, he was supposed to be the starting quarterback at the University of
Yeah.
Florida
Hmm.
to only get usurped by arguably one of the best, if not the best, college quarterback of all time, one Timothy Tebow. I understand some of y'all ain't gonna feel that way, but the numbers speak for themselves. Dude should have won at least two Heisman's, flat out. But anyway, to leave that situation, not get any offers due to his behavior, and thusly having to go to a junior college and then work his way to Auburn, where he had arguably one of the greatest individual seasons ever for a quarterback, including winning damn near every major quarterback award that season, including the Heisman, and then going on to win the national championship and beating a very good Alabama team that year, by the way.
Absolutely.
I mean, with several future NFL stars on it. So there's that. Then of course him being the number one overall pick, being to this moment, I believe he's still the all-time leading scorer for quarterbacks in rushing touchdowns. If he's not, he's number two behind the
Lamar.
great Action Jackson. But yeah, I'm glad that he at a very young age still is getting his flowers from that university where he basically made that rivalry come back on the map. People haven't been talking about Auburn like that since Bo Jackson.
Not at all.
So he came and he made it a thing again. So I'm glad that they are giving him that respect and giving him the full red carpet treatment with all of that. He is deserved.
Yeah, because they always played Alabama close after Cam. It was just that at the end, they never really could pull it out. But then when it was Cam on campus at the time, it was a different culture, man, and you could feel it in the air. And yeah, I definitely feel like he got all the flowers from me and everybody else who knows and appreciate the college game and the NFL game. But people wasn't giving him his, credit where credit was due. You hear like the little scuffles and the back and forth stuff. I think he say some crazy stuff on the podcast tip, but still, you got to give credit where it's due. And he was the ultimate. I'm telling you, out of all these people who be talking crazy about Cam and being disrespectful, you won't say that to that man's face. 'Cause that dude is built different. Literally, he like 6'5", 6'6", 250, 260. Yeah,
And solid.
you ain't gonna do that. Don't play like you would. But yeah, I definitely feel like it was about time for them to give credit where credit is due, and then retiring his number is definitely huge for Auburn. That was pretty much classy on their part.
Right. I mean, just to put it in perspective, y'all seen uh Uncle Shay Shay and Cam stand next to each other. And Uncle Shay Shay ain't no little dude in his own right. But Cam looked like his older brother. That's how big that dude is at quarterback.
And we seen that time when he had that game that where he had the team and and they had like a charity event, how he whipped on three grown men, like they were children, so yeah, you gotta
And
know.
said that he took it easy on him. And I
Yeah.
believe him. That being said, the comparisons that a couple people getting to Cam, please stop that. Joe Milton, no, he is
No.
not Cam Newton.
Yeah.
And Richardson, oh my God. Please stop with the Cam comparisons with Richardson.
Yeah. I
I,
really feel
I would be stunned if that dude end up not even being a quarterback in the NFL in a couple more years.
I wasn't even impressed about him when he got drafted so high. I never was one of them fans. I don't know. I can't speak for you, E, but I never really felt like
I
Evan
get
Richardson
why
was
people
that
were
dude.
intrigued by his skill set, but based on what we done seen, remember a good part of being a good quarterback in the NFL. I'm not
And
seeing that from
and
him.
and the tape we've seen too. We had enough tape last year, man, when he played the Lions. I was looking at, I'm like, man, they in the red zone again. I just went to wash my hands. What happened? He threw a bomb down the field. But if you get towards that 20-yard line, he can't make those, reads. He can't get the guys on the 5-yard slants. He got the good arm that he could throw it real deep. But when it comes to his reads and underneath routes, can't do it.
Yeah. Anyway, congrats to Cam Newton.
I want to go ahead and peel this band-aid off, man, right now, and just go ahead and just get straight to it. I want to talk about what was going on with the Michigan Wolverines and the penalties they'll be facing too. E, how do you feel about it? Do you feel like it was fair, or you think that they kind of let them off the hook a little bit?
All right, brother. I need to know how much time I get.
Oh man, we're gonna definitely spend a nice little time on this, man.
Okay, let me air it out then. Let me air. All right, first and foremost, good people, I get it. Okay, they cheated by the technical rule of the rule. Michigan cheated. They should be punished. I'm saying that outright as a lifelong Michigan fan. Before I even had head down there in my wee wee, I've been a Michigan fan. It's been that long. Some damn near 45 years and change, okay? That being said, this is the NCAA. Michigan is not the only team that has done things, okay? They are not the only team that has stolen signs. Sign stealing is damn near a tradition that goes back to the beginning of all the sports, okay? To the beginnings of baseball, football, basketball, what have you. People have looked to figure out, okay, what play are they running so that we could get some type of advantage as to what we could do to stop it. Now, understand, certain teams saying, yeah, they viewed our tape and not Michigan cheated. Look, Michigan is one of the best recruiting schools in the country. They have been for damn near 50 years, okay? The all-time winningest football program in NCAA history is what school?
Michigan.
That is correct. Now, you mean to tell me that you feel like they should be super penalized, that this penalty wasn't even good enough because the way they cheated was so egregious that they should be damn near banned for the next decade or so? The fact that people look at this as this wasn't even no real punishment
Yep.
is crazy, first of all. Second of all, we should not be the only team in that detention room, okay? Michigan, at one point during this investigation, sent to the NCAA proof, and y'all can look this up. Y'all can go back and look it up. Proof that other programs cheated on them. They had the physical evidence to prove it. Okay? This ain't just me making up stuff. Y'all can go back. You remember that, Hugh?
They look at it like when that happened though, and they still rain down on us like because we threw the rock and hit our hand and didn't, basically try to deflect off of what happened and what we were doing. But I just don't really feel like it was that egregious like everybody's looking at because we've all seen it before. This is not new, man. This is not
Right.
new.
Now, let me break this down. Okay. The main person that they really wanted to punish, they kind of punished, okay? Thank God they saw the wisdom in not taking away the national championship or forfeiting the games from that season. I mean, because bottom line, if it was discovered that they cheated before the first game, because obviously that was the case, that's why they suspended Harbaugh for them first few games. Am I not correct?
Correct.
Did we not still win every last one of them games that year? Many of them by double digits? Did we not dominate every big team that we played in the country that year? Did
I'm
we
glad.
not blow out old? I almost said they nasty man.
I'm glad you're saying this too
Yeah.
because
I mean,
Stephen A was really hard on this whole conversation just
right.
recently and was saying that they shouldn't be the champions. You should have took them wins back that they won. And I don't see why
Yeah.
y'all have it.
I mean, understand. Yes, I understand I'm a Michigan fan, and this is going to be seen as bias. I get that. And I guess to a degree it is. Fuck it, I'm biased. All right? I said it. But long story short is if we got punished, those other teams should be punished as well. Let's keep a buck a buck. The real problem the NCAA had was not with the Michigan program. It was with the Michigan coach, okay? They didn't like how Harbaugh conducted his business with them.
Yeah.
All right, when they went to investigate certain things and he wasn't talking and nobody on his team was talking and none of the players was talking, they felt some type of way about that. Now, that being said, they know they can only punish a team like Michigan to a degree. Remember, college football in its basic essence is just like the NFL. And what is the major goal of NFL? Same with college football. It's certain teams, they come on TV, y'all watching. It's certain teams, you go anywhere in the country. This Idaho, what you got that Michigan gear on for? This Alaska, where you get that Alabama jersey from? This Oklahoma, why you got Notre Dame gear? You see what I'm saying? It's certain teams in college football, they got it like that.
E,
And y'all hate it.
Remember that time I told you that story, man? I don't even know if my boy Marco Cameron remember this, man. I ain't even think about it, man. I just saw a dog ass Notre Dame shirt. You seen the shirt? It wasn't a
Mhm.
bad looking shirt, man.
At all.
I don't know why the hell I paid $50 for it at the time, but the shirt was so dope. It was like Gucci all. It was like you could see the Notre Dame all over the sleeve and like the outlet. You had like the fighting Iris in the front of it with the leaf in the back. That mug was sweet. Man, you know, that was the wrong time to wear it. I went to a King game because King was playing, and I was there with my boy, like I said, my boy Marco. You know, we got stopped by the police, right?
Mm.
They pulled us over, man. I'm thinking, man, we ain't do nothing wrong. Why is this dude messing with us? He seen me from a mile away. I was looking like, man, what's wrong with my man's? I didn't see he have on his cop hat. He seen that Notre Dame jersey. As soon as we got in there, he pulled us over and was like, man, you know we played them this week, don't you? I'm like, who? He was like, Notre Dame. And he was like, why you got this, shirt on, man? I said, I just thought it was a nice shirt. I wasn't thinking nothing about it. That dude was like, you got a jacket in the ride, don't you? I said, yeah, man, I got my jacket. He said, yeah, when you drive away or when your boy drive away, you need to tuck that in. That's how deep
Dang.
it gets when it comes to sports in Michigan. And I
Mm.
don't know if I told you that whole story, Ian. I'm
No,
looking at my
I
boy
never heard
like,
that whole story.
I said,
But
you got to
understand, it's
continue.
just like the Michigan fans when they go down there to the horseshoe to watch them play us and we win. Everybody say if that happens, get in your car and get back to Michigan as quickly as you can, cause they gonna come looking for you. Oh, that's a Michigan car. Yeah, let me. It smell like weed in here. No, it don't.
Oh
Take
yeah.
these tickets.
And it was a high school game, and he was like that. Just
You know what
imagine
I'm
how
saying?
they are in Ann Arbor,
I mean,
man.
so yeah, Michigan is a school like that. So yeah, we have our share of haters, the people that like to call us Walmart Wolverines and whatnot. I was accepted to the University of Michigan, by the way, something I'm very proud of. Didn't go because couldn't afford it, but was accepted to the school. Okay, call it DEI, call it whatever Smurf you like. But I was supposed to go there. My brother is a graduate of University of Michigan. Okay, Michigan Dearborn, but hey, all Hillowell, Bam, it's all the same. He went to Michigan. All right, this is a Michigan household. We support the Wolverines. Okay, flat out.
I want
And
to get
some of
into.
y'all that feel some type of way, but
Mhm.
long story short, you gave them that punk suspension. The only thing it really hurt in the end was two people. Connor Stallions, who, based on what he did and how he did it, which was of his own design, as far as we know, he shouldn't be a college football coach no more. Period. I get that. And of course, you basically do the show cause thing with Coach Harbaugh to where he's not allowed to be a coach in the NCAA to 2038. You think that brother really give a damn about that right now?
I think he's trying to come back, him or
Because
Pete
in
Carroll.
the end, look at that finger. It got that ring on it. And if he put that other ring, let's say Super Bowl champion on the other side, the whole other tag gonna be like NCAA flat out.
I want to get on those penalties too, man, just in case people ain't hear it, man. They were
Don't
saying
break
we're
it down.
going to pay like over $20 million worth of fines,
Which is BS.
10% of the football program budget, a fine
Also BS.
equivalent to like 10% cost scholarship in 2025 2026 academic year.
Mm-hmm.
Loss of postseason revenue sharing for the 2025-2026 season. Recruiting restrictions, 25% reduction in official visits for the 2025-2026 season. 14-week ban on recruiting communications. And for Coach Sharon Moore, you already know that he's going to get the 3-game suspension. And they're going to give him 2 games this year and I believe a game next season. Former staffer Connor Stallions, of course, the 8-year show cause penalty. Former coach Jim Harbaugh, 10-year show cause penalty starting after the current 4-year penalty expired. So he
Mm-hmm.
had like
To
14 years.
2038, like I said.
It did 4 years of probation and potential loss of postseason revenues for the 2025 and 2026 season, and a 3-year restriction from attending Michigan athletic activities to Denard Robinson.
And long story short, what did y'all accomplish with that? We still got the number one overall player in the country
And then the
playing
number
for
one
us.
overall running back.
We now have recruited the number one running back in the country, the number 7 quarterback for the following year in the country, the number 2 offensive lineman in the country, and one of the top 10 defensive ends in the country. That's since they announced this, okay? Making us right now the number one recruiting class for next year. So did you
Question,
really
E,
stop anything by doing what you did?
where did the kid come from who's the number 7 pick? He came from down south or somewhere, didn't he? He's
You
not
talking
up
about the
here.
quarterback?
Yeah, he's not
No, he
from up
came
here.
from the Massachusetts area.
Oh, he came from Boston.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's interesting. That's still pretty cool, though, because
So
still it ain't really
I
stopped
think the
anything.
saying is one monkey don't stop no show.
Absolutely, and that's
And
exactly
I
what
think
it
it was
is.
going on like that for any of the major programs. Like I said, Alabama been accused of cheating in the past and whatnot. I mean, the only reason why we got in, no, I ain't gonna say the only reason. One of the main reasons why we got NIL to this day is because in the end, these kids been getting paid. Okay, I've talked about that on the show several times.
Just got to make
The
it.
program was more than just a movie; it was real
Well,
life.
still one of the best movies to me that came out in college, man. I rank that like probably second to only Any Given Sunday.
And don't forget Blue Chips, same thing.
Yeah,
Real life, people. Real life.
with Shaq and Penny. Yeah,
It's
that was
just
a good
all out in the open now that people getting paid. And Michigan, not only one of the best academic schools in the country, but one of the richest programs in the country
alums.
in terms of the alums and all that. Hell, we got ties to China that they looking into because we getting so much money from China. So the 20, 30 million, to basic people like you and I, we ain't never gonna see that money in our lifetime.
Never, I
But to
never
Michigan, it's like 20, 30 million, here you go.
probably
I
see that
still
in
got all this.
a couple
I
months.
got all this money here. They ain't tripping.
I want
So
to be
I just hope now that you done did all this. Can we be done with it?
pretty
When
much.
we
They're
win
gonna
another
try to
national
find something
championship in
else.
the next 2, 3 years, I don't want to hear it about we cheated.
You know they're gonna try to find something else. But then what was funny to me too, like you said, it kind of reminded me so much of what happened with the New England Patriots, how they said they cheated and slapped them on the wrist, and then they
Mm-hmm.
wanted to hit them again with something that really didn't make sense. Because that Deflategate, I think, was still the worst investigation I've ever heard of. Because
And again, we'll talk about how other teams deflated their footballs too. Let me get me started with that.
and Ian, in the wintertime, man, you play football with your homeboys in the wintertime. What happened to the ball in the wintertime? You
Mm-hmm.
lose air in that ball.
Right, because if you didn't, it'd be harder to throw like that.
I used to
Only
love
reason you
that
could throw it in
because
the wintertime is because it had a little bit of that air, so you could grip it a little better.
absolutely. And I got them tiny hands. So, that definitely used to be beneficial to me, but just a lot of, foolishness, man. And I believe
Yeah,
now, I hope that they, since they got their lick in and I guess that made them happy, I just don't want to hear about anything like that no more, man. It just goes
let's
to football.
move on. Like I said, a couple years from now, when we right there in the mix again, I don't want to hear all the. But remember that time when Michigan, be done with it. Half
Yeah,
of them cheaters right now in the NFL doing great things.
man, San Francisco keep getting like kicked in the butt, man. I really feel bad for that team not trying to get off the topic because we about to go into the power ranking as far as the teams and how they rank the NCAA. But I just seen across my phone, Demarcus Robinson, the kid that they just got from the Rams, he's suspended for 3 games for, what did they say? What did they call it? Violating the league's substance policy.
Mm, mm, mm. Every year, it's at least 8 to 10 players that had that issue. With the type of money these guys make and the thousands of supplements you could take, you would think that somebody would be like, look, that got this in it. Don't use that. Or, okay, you ain't got to use that. Use this instead. That's legal. I mean, it's just stupid. Just like in baseball, how about 8 to 10 of those players end up getting. Come on, man. You know they test for these things. What are you doing?
Yeah, man. I seen the whole story on that too, man. When they talked about how the Valco thing went on, man, and how it just turned baseball upside down. That was really interesting. One of my favorite times of year because at the time, that's when we not only had the internet, but you can get all the facts. And then, you know, me, of course, me being a big baseball fan, I downloaded it, man. It showed all the people who was on that list. And it was people you wouldn't believe on that list. Like, you know, like Big Poppy. I wasn't surprised with, you know, my man's A-Rod and some of the people. But at first I was. And it was actually pretty cool to see stuff like that. But we all get some type or take some type of advantage. Not saying we're taking human growth hormones or substances, but we all get some type of edge in sports, man. That's what it is. It's sports. If you ain't trying to get an advantage on your competitor, then obviously you ain't trying to win. So I'm not trying to condone cheating or anything like that. You can say whatever you want because people still steal signs, you know, in every sport. But you know, you just can't look at it like people doing something that you don't know that's not common in college football in general. So I mean, just you know, let's be honest about that. You know, you just upset because y'all feel some kind of way.
I mean, let's keep it a buck. That is what it is, okay? And when all is said and done, even if you know all the signs, if your athletes
You
ain't
gotta
good
stop it.
enough, you still ain't gonna be able to stop it. I mean, it's just like when some people out there in the gamer universe play and they play their teams with Madden or college football, and you just sitting there watching as a fan of the game is like, that dude done used the same 4 plays all game long. And my mans can't do nothing about it. And I done watched him for 2 weeks now, use them same 4 plays. I
Mhm.
mean, in the end, if you can't do nothing about it, you just can't.
Okay, whatever. Let's get into the college football ranking, man. Do you feel like they ranked everything correctly, E man? You know, mine's the one I looked at was the top AP poll on the top 25 from, you know, ESPN.
All right, well, break it down to me, and I'll let you
Okay.
know right quick. Hey, what's going on, good people? Before we go to that, we're going to go to a commercial break. When we come back, we're going to break down the top 25 this season in NCAA on our college football preview special. But first, these words from my Nighthawk Network. You know the motto, Nighthawk Network, our voices for our people.
Hello, hello, hello. It's another glorious day, my tea sippers, and you know what time it is. I hope you have all of your comforts together because it's time to dish tea. And you're dishing tea, darlings, with Big Meat.
Can't wait. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat.
Darling.
Sports his way. It's the Guru's perspectives.
If you're building your dream from scratch, mic in one hand, hustle in the other, this one's for you. Road to Stardom Network and Nighthawk Network present, a podcast for the indie by the indie, all genres, all grinds. From hip-hop to metal, jazz to trap, we're breaking boundaries. And it's not just artists. Entrepreneurs, creatives, and self-made bosses, we see you. We're giving you the spotlight. This ain't mainstream, this is your stream. Coming soon. Be ready.
Long as I wake up in the morning, I'ma get a bag. Get a bag, yeah, I'ma get a bag. Long as I wake up in the morning, I'ma get a bag. Get a bag, yeah, I'ma get a bag. Long as I wake up.
Hey wrestling fans, let me tell you, the state of professional wrestling right now is absolutely electric. Have you seen what Roman Reigns has been doing lately? The Tribal Chief's dominance in WWE is unmatched, and the Bloodline saga just keeps getting better and better. But let's talk about some of the incredible rising stars who are changing the game. LA Knight's meteoric rise has been something special to witness. The way he connects with the crowd, pure magic. And don't even get me started on Braun Breaker. This kid has future world champion written all over him. Speaking of must-see action, did anyone catch that recent Dynamite show? AEW's been bringing the heat, and MJF continues to prove why he's one of the best on the mic in the business today. Looking ahead to the upcoming pay-per-views, I'm telling you, SummerSlam season is going to be insane this year. The build-up, the storylines, the potential dream matches, we're in for some unforgettable moments. There's never been a better time to be a wrestling fan, and I can't wait to see what happens next in this crazy, amazing world of professional wrestling.
Hey, this is your boy E-Buck, and if you're looking for some great desserts, something sweet, something to treat yourself with, please check out my girl Caramel Sweets here in the Metro Detroit area. She can make desserts for your function, your event, or just for that special someone you want to give something nice to. So check her out. It's Caramel Sweets. You can find her on Facebook and Instagram. We appreciate you.
And you know, number one, they had Texas with
I have no
25
problem with
votes.
Texas being one right now.
Penn State with 23 votes.
Stop. Just stop right there. Hell no. Hell no. Yeah, I understand Penn State went to the doggone playoff and got to the championship series part of it. No. Is Penn State better than they usually are? No, not even that. No. Not only are they not the number 2 team in the country, they are not even the number 2 team in the Big Ten, okay? They may not even be the number 2 team in their division of the Big Ten. This is a very gross over ranking. I would not rank them in the top 5. I would not rank them in the top 10. I'm barely putting them in the top 25 because Penn State do got some athletes and what have you, but do not be surprised 6 weeks from now when Penn State is 4-2 or 3-3 and out of the top 25, never to return. They are extremely overranked. You can continue.
They have Ohio State as number 3 with 11 votes.
As I think about it now, I'm kind of all right with that because in the end, they are the national champion. That gets you a few extra votes, point blank. If you're the national champion and returning a good part of your team, that should automatically put you in the top 10. If you have won your conference, that should put you pretty much in the top 5, especially if you one of the 2 big conferences, which is SEC, Big Ten. So them being ranked 3, I don't have no problem with it because in the end, the course correct will come very quickly with that one because we all already know the biggest game of the season pretty much jump off the season.
Clemson ranked number 14 with 4 votes.
Not so much.
I think they should be out of that top 10, in my opinion.
I think they right there on the fringe of top 10.
Like
because,
maybe 11. I would give them that.
Yeah, because I understand Dabo Swinney, he finally got smart and said, you know what? I guess that transfer portal thing's such a bad idea. Let me go ahead and jump up in here and get a little something. Everybody else doing it. So based on that and the fact that they are returning most of their team from last year, particularly the good ones, yeah, I could see them at least being good enough to win the ACC. So I put them right about 10 or 11, but no, 4, a little too high.
They have Georgia ranked 5.
I would rank Georgia probably where we got Clemson right now.
Then Notre Dame 6.
Look, I know as soon as he said Notre Dame, some of y'all was like, I already told y'all what the deal was. It's about the money, okay? as long as Notre Dame is Notre Dame football and they got the type of cachet, the literal cachet that they have, I said it last year, I'm saying it again. Notre Dame is already in the playoff right now as we speak today until they ain't. They automatically in every year until they ain't. I can almost say that about that team down south, Michigan, and a couple other schools, Bama and so on. But that team, more than any other school in the country, because of how it's set up and because of their independent contracts and all that, and because they bring in money to where wherever they go across the country or the world, Notre Dame people going to go watch them, they are automatically in the top 10. They are automatically in the playoffs. Period.
People hate that team, man. Notre Dame kind of like the Dallas Cowboys of college to me, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Oregon was ranked number 7.
I don't think so. They in the top 20 because they're a Big Ten team, and if you see that schedule kind of soft. So yeah, they're gonna be up there, but are they that good? They're not as good as last year's team, and last year's team shouldn't have been there. So no.
Alabama ranked 8th.
I want to rank them right around 12-ish, 13-ish. They are probably the second or third. No, I'm gonna say the third best team in the SEC right now as constructed.
LSU 9.
I would say LSU should be ranked ahead of Alabama. I would probably put LSU at about 6 or 7.
Miami 10.
I'm curious about Miami because understand, Miami, they went all in with this NIL, okay? They whipped out, boom, here's all my money. Let's pay these dudes. Let's get back up there. We want the U to be back for real, for real. We trying to get the U like it was back in the day when we had everybody. So I'm fascinated to see what their money bought them. Right now, clearly it done bought them a top 10 ranking, but I don't think they should be ranked 10. No.
How do you feel about them already giving Devin Hester's son a recruit right now, trying to get him to go to Miami? That was
understand, good people, if you've been paying attention to college sports, a lot of father, son, daughter, son, sister, it's a lot of these folks about to pop up on your screen in the next decade or so. A lot of these athletes and bred other athletes. It ain't just LeBron in them. So don't be surprised. And in the end, if you got that name, you got that claim to fame. Ask Carmelo Anthony's son.
Mm-hmm.
He already a legend at Syracuse and ain't played a game yet.
And his son actually pretty good. He put in some pretty good work out there.
Actually, he is worthy of it.
ASU is number 11. Arizona State.
See, people ain't really seen a lot of ASU because that's one of them West schools that don't get a lot of TV time. Think about the conference they're in. I want to say they in the ACC. No, actually, no. ASU, that was one of the two teams that is in that bootleg Pac-10 now. Because that bootleg Pac-10 is the way it's set up, yeah, they gonna have a lot of games that they're gonna get over on. So yeah, that's probably gonna keep them around 11, 15. I can see them losing maybe 2-3 games.
Illinois ranked number 12.
No. Just no. No. They only rank 12 because they're a Big Ten school. It's not right. No.
South Carolina number 13.
Same scenario, different conference. They only rank 13 because they're SEC school. They're going to be one of the better schools in the SEC, but not better enough to be ranked anywhere in the top 20.
Michigan ranked number 14.
This going to surprise y'all, but no. And I don't think they should be ranked higher. No disrespect, Coach B. I know you're going to chime in on the comments at this point. We already had that discussion in private, but no. Ranked too high. Freshman quarterback, okay? A lot of freshmen on that offensive line. The defense actually should be better than last year, and that's scary. But no, remember last year, Michigan fans, where we had one good quarterback that never played. That's that kid Davis, who's still in the program, by the way. And then all these other supposed wannabe quarterbacks that we whipped out on y'all. Yeah, we got a couple good quarterbacks now. Few up. But who they throwing it to? Samaj Morgan, yeah, he'll wide receiver. After that, everybody else on the okay, I got here from whatever school. Let me see what I can do. Or okay, I'm trying to go to play. Let me see what I can do. Until they can prove what they can do offensively, I can't rank them that high. I'm sorry. They should be in the 20s.
Florida ranked number 15.
I'm kind of all right with that.
SMU ranked number 16.
SMU is a team, again, that didn't get a lot of TV love, but actually
Pretty
got a
good
good
last year.
program. And keep in mind, they come from that Dallas area. Remember, in this day and age of NIL money, if you're a Texas school, you probably going to make out pretty good NIL-wise. A
And they
lot
were
of Texas,
decent last year.
it's a lot of oil money in them schools, okay? And then the Dallas area, you already know it's big money around them parts.
Then you have Kansas State. They're ranked number 17.
Me and Hugh are real football fans. Would you not agree, Hugh?
Absolutely.
When we watch them Saturday games, it's usually one of them games that catch you off guard where you be like, you know, that actually was a good game. How many times have we said that in the last few years about Kansas State?
They done played a few good games, but a lot of times they didn't live up to expectations too. I think they wanted this kid to be ranked too high. The Avery Johnson kid, they ranked them too high, and they thought that they were better than what they was. And they're still to the point where they're a team on the come up, but it ain't to the point where I'm really so.
Yeah, it's probably some SEC school that should be ranked where they ranked at. Let's say that.
And then you have, which I'm glad you said that. That's funny because Oklahoma's next.
Oh, they definitely should be ranked ahead of Kansas State. No doubt. They should probably be ranked somewhere around 12 or 13. I mean, in the end, it depends on what they do defensively. We already know Oklahoma, they keep a decent offense.
Absolutely.
It's that defense that's always the issue.
And then you have Texas A&M.
Do not sleep. I repeat, do not sleep on Texas A&M. Tell them, Hugh.
The dude's got a squad, man. 2 years ago, when we thought that they were going to be dangerous, they actually didn't live up to expectations. We was like, man, they paid all that NIL money and they ain't doing nothing. Last year, you start to see it pan off. I definitely think this year they're going to be one of them teams who would be definitely in the playoffs.
Now, see, here's the thing. If they play out their schedule and win most of their games, they in because they got one of the toughest schedules in the country. They playing all the big wigs over there in the SEC. They play in Georgia. They play in Alabama. They play in Texas. They win most of them games. Look out. You about to get bum rushed.
Indiana is ranked number 20.
Now, I want to hate on Indiana, but y'all remember last year, they actually played pretty decent in the Big Ten. But remember what I said about the Big Ten last year. It was a bunch of bums in the Big Ten.
Yeah, it wasn't really a lot of good talent.
And it ain't like it didn't improve that much. Okay? So based on that, yeah, they definitely should be ranked probably a little higher than 20. They probably should be ranked right around where Kansas State is.
Ole Miss is number 21.
Don't sleep on Ole Miss. Don't sleep on Ole Miss. You know they got that dude over there. And say what you will about him and how he went out like a bum with the Raiders and all that, but that dude is an offensive genius, okay? We know this.
Absolutely.
And he got some stuff to work with this year over there. They didn't put that good NIL money to use at Ole Miss. Don't be surprised if you look up at Ole Miss in the top 10.
Iowa State.
Iowa State, another sneaky team you need to look out for because they play in the Big 12. You know what I always say about the Big 12? Offense, yeah, they got plenty of offense in Big 12. Where the defense be at? No
Speaking of, here's another team that that's just like that too. Is Texas Tech is number 23.
I like Texas Tech. I like them as a program. I like them as a football team. I just like the fact that Texas Tech kind of go under the radar because they in Texas with all the other big schools, the Texas and the Texas A&Ms of the world. Texas Tech probably would make out better if they was not around SEC country. But yeah, they gonna be a sneaky good team. They definitely should be ranked high.
Tennessee is number 24 ranked team.
I'm kind of torn on that one.
I was a little surprised they was ranked that low, honestly.
From week to week, you don't really know what you're gonna get from Tennessee. I think it's because they're in the SEC, and some weeks they play up to the level, and some weeks it's like we don't really belong here. That being said, any team they play at home, good old Rocky Top, you got to kind of favor them, even if they play in Alabama or Georgia, because Tennessee had that stadium rocking. That is one of the best places in all of college football to play football.
And the top out your top 25 is Boise State.
Come on now. They a throw in. Understand, you see how many of them teams you name? Most of them teams come from one or two conferences. Big Ten, SEC. They sprinkled in a little ACC, a little Big 12, but for the most part, it's them two. Boise State, the only school he didn't mention that ain't really in that Power 5, okay? And it's because they Boise State, and it's just the way they recruit over there.
Yeah, they're gonna always
It's
get
been like this for a couple decades now.
Somebody
on that squad gonna end up winning a couple awards. Okay, we know that.
I think that Statue of Liberty play got them somewhere. Oh no, I thought I saw something. There was nothing really at all.
Now let's talk about some of these schools that ain't been said that we should be talking about. Okay, where's Missouri in that top 25?
Absolutely, because Missouri is one of the better teams to me from last season, and I was just surprised that they didn't get that type of love, man. They had Luther Burden, and they had a lot of good players over there. I didn't really think the quarterback was as good. So, but still, man, to be not even in this top 25, that surprised me, because there's a few teams you could have took out the top 25.
Right.
And I still feel like you could have had them.
USC that fell off like that all of a sudden? Where USC at?
No way in hell that they could have fell off like that, man. And I was surprised I didn't hear nothing from them neither in that top 25, man. And it really shocked me.
UCLA. If Illinois in the top 25, UCLA probably should be in that top 25. Okay, let's go SEC. It's a couple of them schools missing, man.
And then as well as Vanderbilt played last year.
Yeah, what happened to Vanderbilt?
People can make fun of them all they want. Vanderbilt beat some big ass teams last year, man.
And took other teams to the brink, absolutely.
Yep. So yeah, it's kind of weird how they did that, but then that's just the beginning of the season, and we know that they're going to alter these eventually. But yeah, it was just kind of strange to not hear some of the household names or some names that we thought that, especially being there, especially SEC and how they've been doing. USC. I'm sorry.
Right. And it's sad that teams like Florida State that fell off the way they have.
Yeah.
Michigan State. Ouch. And
then Iowa wasn't in there. Surprised the hell out of me.
Damn. Usually Iowa at least good for some good defense.
Hard-nosed ass team, man. Whatever you play them, you definitely in for a fight. Or we can even throw another Big Ten team in there. Ian, you already know who I'm going to say. They're very disciplined, man. They remind me so much of Iowa, but they wear the white and red. Wisconsin, they wasn't in there.
Right. And speaking of white and red, what happened to Utah? No, Utah? You already know the way they recruit.
And we love Uncle Rico.
Put them in the building. Because remember, they got probably the oldest team in the country off rip down there every season. Mm-hmm. Because in Utah and at Boise State, they had those players go on the 2-year sabbaticals and whatnot to get their religion on and then come back to the school. So they got a whole bunch of people that's 22, 23. Man, don't Utah still got that one quarterback, the one we always end up talking about?
Uncle Rico?
Yep.
I'm surprised, man, because
And he about 26, 27 by now.
Man, I think they got a 30-year-old kicker, too. I think ain't that the dude from Oregon? So, yeah, right. They be having them sabbaticals.
And no disrespect, we mean this with the utmost respect. the fact that they recruit heavily in American Samoa and they have a lot of those players on the squad,
Yeah,
them be some good players, man, especially for
absolutely.
college. I mean,
Absolutely.
just for the simple fact that they come big, but they come humble, dog. They ideal for a college program.
Because we got the one kid on the Lions right now, the kick return dude, and he play running back. What is it, Siaki? Yeah, so yeah,
Yep. And then
so
of
yeah,
course
this
we had a few people on that Michigan Panther squad, or at least what once was the Michigan Panthers.
was yeah,
The
we got a
Nakua
lot of
Juniors of the world, basically.
yeah, we got a lot of talent and a lot of teams that was missing, and I'm just trying to see, man. I'm gonna wait till the first week and first week or two for when they start making these rankings again and see how they alter it
Yeah, so
because
I would say give us a month. About 15 of them 25 teams will not be in the top 25.
I'm gonna keep this one too. I'm gonna definitely keep the teams in this top 25, and then I just want to see how it changed within
Yeah,
that
let's
month.
meet up about middle of October and see what it
You know,
look like then.
definitely
I
want to
agree.
see how that's gonna be because I
Yeah,
know
like
it's
I said, certain teams they gonna be there, but a lot of them middle teams we talked about, not so much.
another team that surprised us last year too. It was one of the first kickoff games of the season, and I know a lot of people sleep on this team. Man, they're a good squad, and they had a few injuries, but they still had a 500 record, man. And Georgia Tech. Remember how
Georgia
good they played last year? That
indeed.
defense and their offense, man, they are another good team on the come up, man. So yeah, just was really
Right.
surprising how they, you
Now
know,
notice we mentioned a lot of teams, y'all. Guess what team we ain't talked about yet? Y'all remember that team over there in Boulder called Colorado?
yeah,
Notice how we have not mentioned them, Hugh.
not at all. And that's a team that's
Why do you
always
think
gonna
that
get some
is?
noise. I believe Sadur's not there. And Travis ain't there.
I think this
Shiloh
year
ain't
we
there.
find out not only how good a Coach Prime is, but how good a staff he assembled. And most importantly, what type of inner strength that Coach Prime, I mean, like I said, I'm praying for that brother because what he went through medically and what he will have to continue to go through the rest of his life just to be functional, that's a lot. And I'm hoping that inspires that team that he created and spent all type of money to make happen. Remember that he had one of the better recruiting class in the country. I think this is the year we find out how good he is. In the end, if they somehow, without Shadur, without Travis Hunter, make it to the playoffs and win a game or two, Colorado, y'all got a problem. And your problem is that y'all ain't gonna be able to afford Coach Prime no more.
Because he already been talking about
Knocking
it.
on the door.
Because if Florida State have another bad season, who you think they're gonna call? It's other
Or he
teams
should
that
have
be
called
looking
in the
at
first
too.
place.
That he should have got that call before
Remember,
anybody
he
else
got an
did.
interview at Arkansas. You think they ain't gonna try to get him again if they fall off? Speaking
Absolutely.
of a team that we did mention,
And that's one of them teams, man, who got money. You know what I'm saying?
right?
Who could easily get recruits. But
And then
just
you already
imagine Prime
know
going over there with
the
that type
bar
of
is
team.
high in a place called Alabama. If they barely make it to a playoff game or they barely make it to a bowl game, somebody got to go.
Because I think the
And one of
bar,
the first
man, is
people that
definitely
get
on
the
the hot
call
seat
is
this
Coach
year.
Prime. Because in the end, they want the highlights. And you think Coach did a good job of recruiting at Colorado, give him some of that Alabama money.
Because I wasn't even tripping when they didn't
Some
do
of
it.
that Texas A&M money for that matter.
Absolutely. Because I know that it was a lot of pressure on the ball, man. So yeah, it's gonna be pressure on him this year too. And it's like regardless of the fact, especially teams like Alabama, man, it's like that seat gonna get hot real fast. So he gonna have to figure something out because everybody thinking, oh man, they're gonna be much better this year. I don't think so. I think
Right.
they're gonna be right in that same cusp right there where they at. And they're gonna get some recruits, but I still feel like that man got his hands full. And I think another season where he don't play good, or to the point that they don't live up to expectations, yeah, they'll be definitely looking for another coach. That's a
Right.
fact.
And think about it. Despite what happened to Michigan, they still recruiting great right now. Let them mess around and make the playoff this year with a freshman quarterback. Oh, the floodgates gonna open. It's about to really be on.
And then with the transfer portal and everything else was going on
right?
too.
I
So
mean,
yeah,
Saints, as much as I hate the minutes for that school down there, if they mess around and win a back-to-back, oh yeah, everybody gonna want to go there.
and that's what it's all about right now, man. And I told you, yeah, I still feel like, man, it's gonna be to the point where how it's the NL and AL and NFC, AFC. I'm still thinking eventually, man, we're gonna
We
get
just
that
said it.
SEC Big Ten.
We
I'm
just
thinking
said it
that's
before
gonna
with the
happen.
Sound because in the end, I think it's gonna get to the point where it's so much like that, they're gonna set up the packages that way. You
Hmm.
can get the all college football program package, or you can just get the SEC Big Ten package. I
And
think
we've
it's
been
gonna break down like that then.
But we've been talking about that too, E man. Definitely glad you mentioned that, man, because if people don't know, tomorrow is the big day with ESPN Unlimited, man. They even got it now where you can get that. They had it where you could purchase that right now, damn near a whole week in advance.
Over 200,000 people that already signed up. 200,000 at 25, $30 a pop. They done hit a big lick already.
And they got you locked in where you can get the Disney Plus and you could get the Hulu, which I don't know why they keep adding or saying them two together when Disney Plus bought Hulu. We should just call
Well,
it
we already
Disney
know that
Plus and
Hulu is done
ESPN.
after this year anyway.
Yeah, we should just call it ESPN and Disney Plus right now. But yeah, man, they're gonna have everything, man. If you're a wrestling fan, they done already committed to wrestling, and now you got college football, and then you got the NFL Network and the NFL Red Zone integrated and all that too. So yeah, man, it's gonna be a really
Right. And
interesting
then
year.
remember, you're going to get all the playoff games for the WNBA. You're going to get baseball next year. You're going to get NBA, of course,
Hmm.
with ESPN. So, as opposed to whatever you might be paying now, because, a lot of us, we only got them packages for 4 or 5 stations. And especially most of us guys, we got it for the sports. So
And
if we
we
can get
talked
just the
about that.
sports and then watch the rest of that on Tubi or some stuff, why not?
We talked about that too. We've always been looking for this. It's 2 years a little later than what we expected,
True.
but we wanted to have a channel that was really dedicated to sports and having a big enough sports package to where you could just focus on getting all your sports in one package and probably integrate or put something else in there because you still can watch just that package for $30. But if they gonna give you $35 with Disney Plus and Hulu, man, and it's only like it's locked in for this year, but why not? Why not?
Right. And kudos to the stations known as Fox and ABC because I think it's very smart for them to do a lot of these sports programs that they're doing on the weekend now, especially in this day and age where television is kind of, the fact that they not only just showing the good stuff, as we would call it, the football and the basketball and whatnot, but they showing a lot of regional stuff, a lot of college stuff, the swimming championships they showed a couple weeks ago. The track and field, the lacrosse, the women's soccer league. I'm liking a lot of the program that they're doing on the weekend for casual sports fans. The gymnastics.
And Fox One actually trying to get in on that too, where they got Fox One having a streaming channel now where they're gonna have a lot of their Fox Sports and stuff try to, integrate and go into a package. Do I think it's gonna work? I don't think it's gonna work like how
No,
Disney can get over, but yeah, they're at least trying to do something to try to compete.
right. They
To
don't
where,
have the names. You know what I'm saying?
no,
ESPN got names. Hell, even Rich Eisen back at ESPN now. Come on.
man, did you see that? What he did yesterday, man? With my man's Stuart Scott, that was huge, man.
I
'Cause
love that, man.
they was partners in crime. That was one of my favorite
Man, that's
analysts,
back when
Stuart Scott.
ESPN Sports Center was damn near must see
Yeah,
TV every night.
don't hit no more like that, man. I remember
No, it
one
don't.
time I thought Stuart Scott was gonna get kicked off TV when he said something. You had to pause and hear what he said because he was saying, "If you go up against A-Rod, I feel bad for you, son. I got 99 problems, but a pitch ain't one." And I was like, "What did he just say?" Then when I heard it, I laughed because he always came up with those
Right.
snazzy
Like
punchlines.
that's how what he's like, I'm Rick James, pitch.
He just was like one of those guys before his time, man. And yeah, that hurted me, man, to see because you know that Eisen basically he barely, went through that whole segment, but it was good that he gave credit to him and gave him his props because they was partners in crime, man. And that's when they
Right.
started making those really good commercials, like when my man's Megatron, Calvin Johnson, remember when he
Mhm.
was transformed into like the vending machine and
Right.
the Rick James, I said Rick James, the King James, LeBron James
Yep.
with the King chair. Them was all
Exactly.
good old days, man. Albert
Right.
Pujols as the machine. They don't
Right.
do stuff like that no more, man. Whatever
Yeah,
happened to that
that was some
ESPN?
of the best commercials. Absolutely.
Yeah, ESPN need to step their game back up, man. Hopefully this will do something for them because their commercial and just their advertisement was second to none. I'm just hoping we can get
See,
back.
here's a little extra that y'all might make you want to contribute. The fact that during a lot of the broadcasts on the ESPN, they are now going to integrate the stats and all of that during the game as part of the broadcast. So, like for you degenerate gamblers that's trying to figure out if you want to go over under or how many points somebody might get that night or all that, that is, I mean, that's purposely done, by the way. I do believe there's actually even a ESPN bet component that's supposed to go
Yeah,
along with that as well.
and it's crazy because there's so much stuff that's going to happen
Right.
too.
Speaking of which, I mean, since it's sports related, let me throw this in right quick, Hugh. Do you know that you can now, or actually it's not new, but you can actually bet on Little League World Series games?
Oh my God, I didn't know they had that. That's crazy.
I mean, people have been upset about it because, come on, man. These kids 10 and 11 and 12. And there's going to be some degenerate gambler out there somewhere that says, you know what? Timmy,
That
I
is
need y'all to
crazy.
win this game. I got 50 on it. $50, sir? No, 50,000. You better get a hit. Something might happen
Little
to your
League,
father.
Little League World Series. That's crazy. I didn't even know they're doing that, man.
Yeah, I mean, the gambling thing, fortunately, has not come to a very bad thing, but somewhere down the line between the NIL and all that, that day gonna come. Especially if organized crime becomes involved. Because remember, if y'all remember how Las Vegas got formed in the first place, come on now.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's sad. But I didn't even know that. I'm definitely a little shocked because I didn't think something so innocent to be something that they would bet on like that.
Man, imagine you sitting there like, yeah, Timmy's dancing. If I don't fit the shut up, he gonna hurt you. That is not a pressure any young kid should have to deal with.
But what I'm more excited
I
about
mean,
too.
certain things you just should not have bets for. I mean, but hell, they got bets for political stuff. It's bets out there now for whether DT try to get a third term or not. It's a bet for that right now.
The 47,000 live view in this ESPN was more or less one thing that caught my attention. And then, like you said, man, we got the NFL Red Zone on there now. Finally, when they got in, and they got some of the NFL Network and the NFL Red Zone, and then their fantasy. Those are some of the things I'm definitely happy about that's going to be integrated in it too. Because I don't believe I'll be doing no fantasy or nothing, man. We'll still talk about that before the season.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'm gonna do that anymore. I just enjoy watching the game too much to be trying to be down.
No, like I said, I'll probably do what I did last year. Take my little $20 and play some of that. Okay, is he gonna score? He gonna score. I kind of have fun with that. But the whole fantasy football seem like every time I do that these last few years, I pick a team. By week 3, half of them hurt.
Yeah,
I can't, man.
that's too much, man. And then one thing I didn't like about it, and I was talking to you about it for a while, Ian, it's something I was really strongly talking about because one of my boys, Neil Marsden, he was a soccer fan, and he said, Hugh, with our fantasy, if somebody got hurt, if they was hurt before halftime, man, we can switch them and put another player in their place. And I was like, damn, y'all had that for real in y'all fantasy? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, man, we need to do that. Because if somebody get hurt by halftime, man, you shouldn't just let that guy just suffer. You should be able to replace him with somebody on the bench, man. But
Right.
yeah,
Or
they
they at
get
least have it set up to where, okay, if somebody get hurt and you basically on autopilot for the week and you didn't know that person was hurt, the algorithm should automatically just swap out that person for
that.
whoever your backup was.
There's things that they should do to help that out, man. I
Yeah.
mean, it don't take a rocket scientist until they get that fixed. For now, I'm just gonna take time
Right.
out.
Have y'all seen some of the stuff that me and you been doing with AI lately? If we could do these types of things, they definitely could do that type of stuff.
So yeah, let's get to it, man. They need to go ahead and take care of business. But anything else you wanted to add on to that? Because I know we got the college coming on this weekend, and then after that, the week after, that's when the NFL gonna come on. So I know we're gonna get a chance. We're gonna do our NFL preview show pretty soon too as well.
Speaking of bets out there in Vegas, there's already bets being placed as to who will be this year's Super Bowl halftime show participant.
Really?
You know who's leading in those bets right now, right?
Who?
Come on, Hugh. You know who it is.
No.
Yeah, you do. You know it's Tay Tay.
Oh, come on, man.
You know it's Tay Tay.
I ain't trying to hear that.
Now, you already know. In an ideal world, Tay Tay the halftime show. Her boyfriend's team in the Super Bowl. They win. She in the building. They hook up at the end of the game. And probably the biggest moment on TV since the last episode of MASH happens. You know it's going to be bets on all of that.
Oh, yeah. I ain't looking forward to it and really care less, honestly.
But from a Vegas standpoint, they will love the hell out there. That's the big people that wouldn't bet no other time in life will be placing bets on that. And you know it.
Man.
But nonetheless, there's that. Okay, couple other small things. Always pick out a couple things that we may overlook, especially since we're doing college football special. By the way, y'all, next week on the show, we'll be doing our NFL preview special. And we're going to get deep with that. Because you know how we love the NFL here on the show. But, Hugh, can we give a couple special shout-outs to, first of all, the young lady known as Sue Bird. Congratulations on her getting her statue in Seattle. Well deserved. She is, without a doubt, one of the top 10 players of all time in the W. Would you agree? We don't hear you, Hugh. I don't know, sir, but your microphone is not showing you are muted, but you can't be heard. I'm assuming you hear me. You hear me? But yep, we don't hear you. Okay, maybe you should go in and go out right quick. Let me take over for a second while you do that. Okay, having some quick technical difficulty. We should be able to work that out in a second. Again, there you go. You're back.
Yeah, that was kind of strange.
Yeah, that was. But yeah, as we were saying, Sue Bird with her statue in Seattle. Your thoughts?
I was definitely feeling like that was well deserved. It was cool to hear that story too, because I heard her and the Kelsey Plum, because I remember they got into like a little, incident before, and she was talking about it, and she was just telling her how she respect her and she made her more of a student to the game, and it was just cool to see what Sue Bird had to offer. I just would like for her to have her more input in, like how when Kobe retired, to kind of teach the younger kids who coming up. But I'm pretty sure if they asked her, she would definitely give them advice now. But yeah, she's one of those people. Either her or like a Diana Taurasi, who I would like to be more to reach out and to, talk more to the young talent and help them elevate their games. But other than that, man, I just feel like she was a huge asset to the WNBA, man. She's one of those pillars and one of the people who was like the founding people in there who you appreciate and all her attributes, man. You got to give credit with her, man, because it's not really no Seattle Storm team without her, man. And she helped build that franchise. So yeah, I definitely feel like it was more than deserved.
Absolutely. So yeah, I think I'm gonna pretty much leave it at that this week, Hugh.
Okay. Well
So
then,
that being said, you know what to do.
oh, absolutely, sir. Appreciate that. I just want to get with all you guys, let you know you can get with me and follow me on my social media networks. I'm Hoovy on Instagram. For the most part, I focus on our show and then I try to put the highlights and reels on there as far as coming from the Guru Sports Session and the Guru Perspective. The Sports Guru to You is my Facebook page where I usually put the late breaking news and I put, some content as far as when it comes to sports and the final scores. Hughley.6 is my TikTok page, and I'm going to be doing something that Eve been telling me to do for a while now. Whenever I get some late breaking news, rather than me just putting it on my platform, the Sports Guru to You, I will be actually going live either from Instagram or TikTok, and I'll be telling you right there in person. I usually get the news 5 minutes before ESPN and some of the other platforms. So yeah, I think I'm gonna be doing that more often, and it's gonna be basically the Guru's late breaking news. So yeah, stay tuned for that as well, because I feel like it's gonna be necessary with some of the trades and some of the things that go on in the NFL and just in general. So yeah, stay tuned for that. It might be just like a good 10, 15 minutes if something major happened and just kind of give you my feel on it and let you guys know and be aware of it too, because like I said, a lot of that news, you'd be surprised. You'll be getting it maybe 3 to 5 minutes before the ESPN and some of the other, news platforms. So stay tuned to that as well.
Absolutely, and then of course, we like your unique perspective on some of those things. So it's definitely cool. Like I said, everybody else is using TikTok platforms for the things they like to do or want to look into. So by all means, let us all do that. Those of you been looking for the latest episode of What Up Though on the Dub, it is coming sometime next few days. We about a month away from the end of the season, and it's definitely been some movement going on in the league. Some people on the come up, and some people that it's going to be a long season, long off season, long next year.
Absolutely.
So yeah, we're gonna get into all of that. So be looking out for that. Of course, we play that on TikTok and on my Instagram page. We definitely gonna start trying to get more reels together so we can put them on the Instagram and utilize that platform more. And be looking out also, assuming that TikTok gets their stuff together and figure out what they're gonna do with this sale, because I don't want to go through all that and then ain't no TikTok again.
Absolutely.
We're gonna have a whole separate page uh designed for not only our content creation but for our different shows in the Nighthawk Network. It'll have its own TikTok page. Once we get that together, we will announce it to you guys. And
That's
then of
why.
course always check out my radio station, which is Nighthawk Network Radio. You can access that on the Live 365 app. Go to your phone, hit the Google Play Store or the Apple Store, type in Live 365 app, it'll pop up. Go and set it up on your phone, and then you will look for Nighthawk Network Radio. When you pop that up, add it to your favorites and check it out.
Absolutely. We'd like to definitely give a shout out to everybody who be chiming in. We appreciate y'all and thank you.
Yeah, of course, we always got to mention our affiliates that's been part of the network, the new guys and the old ones. So, of course, shout out to Big Meech and Big Red, Aunt Nikki. Shout out, of course, to Coach V. Shout out to Ro, who started her podcast a week. Thank you, Ro. Looking forward to more episodes of that. And also, shout out to Felicia, host of Rumble Time, talking all things wrestling and whatnot. Check these things out on the network. You can find that on Nighthawk Network Detroit on my YouTube, but also on the Nighthawk Network information page on Facebook.
Well, that's all for me, man. Anything else you got to add, E?
That's it, people.
All
We're
right,
done.
man.
Until next week, enjoy, and we will catch y'all next week for the NFL preview special. Do